But we have a profound belief in people, in terms of when they want to see change happen, they're willing to take action to make it happen. So before I start going into the comments, I want to thank the folks that really were helped driving this. Ramon Garcia. I want to thank Ramon. I want to thank Ruben Romero. I want to thank Liz Renhead for the work. They were our core team that got this thing going. They brought in people like Dave and other people to make this thing happen. Right now we have a woman named Socorro. Stand up a second, Socorro. I want to recognize you real quickly. I was walking with Socorro last week in Guadalupe. She was collecting signatures, and she told me the other weekend, because we're walking in this week, she said, "Oh, Randy, I'm going to be in Tucson next week. Give me your petition. I'll walk some more there, and then I'll come to your event." So this is the type of people we have. They're not being paid. These are people who want to see change happen and want to see new voices come in the state of Arizona. So I want to thank you, Socorro, for the work you're doing. And this year brought another friend here locally. So as I look around the room, I am inspired, right, by the sense of optimism and hope. We know we live in a troubled time right now. Right, Arizona getting the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Words like racist, words like backwards, words like, Nazis coming into the whole picture, right? People coming out there feeling emboldened by this law that it's okay to go out there and target a certain group of people, right? We're here to say that's not okay. We're here to say, John McCain, this state's moving in the wrong direction. You're the wrong senator for this time in Arizona. That's what this campaign's about. And so, as we move forward, I know there's a lot of different issues. I'm a student of the Civil Rights Movement. And what's going on today kind of reminds me of what happened with a guy named Sheriff Pritchard. Sheriff Pritchard was a sheriff in Albany, Georgia. And he's the one where the movement went to after they finished all the action in Birmingham. You guys heard about the Birmingham story with the marches, the hoses, the dogs, right? Bull Connor, you heard that story, right? But no one really knows about Sheriff Pritchard. Because when they moved there to start to desegregate Albany, Georgia, to register people to vote, Sheriff Pritchard took a whole different attitude. He decided not to respond. He let them march. He let them walk. He let them come to the register. He just said no. He refused to do anything. So one day when they were marching outside City Hall wanting to vote, and he didn't turn on any hoses, he didn't stick the dogs out, they just sat there and watched. And they asked him, Sheriff Pritchard, why don't you do something? How come you just chosen not to do anything? He said, it's very simple. He said, mind over matter. He said, I don't mind because they don't matter. And I think what you just had Jan Brewer do, Russell Pierce, that's about mind over matter. They're passing these laws because they don't mind, because we don't matter. Right? So people say, what do we need to do? We need to organize. We need to start doing house meetings and take this campaign to a different level. I assure there are hundreds of thousands of people in Arizona that feel the same sense of anger, frustration, and disconnect that you all feel. So we got to turn that negative anger and frustration into positive energy and into positive action. That's all I've learned as an organizer. That's how you make change happen. You don't make change happen by pandering to people's beliefs. You don't make change happen by throwing money at different things. You don't make change happen because you are a millionaire, because if it was about millionaires, Jim Peterson would be a senator for Arizona. But he's not. It's about how we start to take this fight to real people and start to change the dynamics of what Arizona looks like. And so I did not come back to Arizona to run for office. I'm not a career politician, but I feel in this particular case I am the right candidate for the right time for the historical crisis we're facing here in Arizona. So again, I want to thank you all for being part of this movement, for this struggle. A quick thing on the numbers, right? This is because people are saying, well, how are you going to win? How are we going to raise the money? What's really going to happen? If you think about the primary, in the state of Arizona, all we need to do is turn out 110,001 votes. When we average out the numbers, it's about 220,000 will turn out in the primary. So I think, in terms of the family connections alone in this room, we're almost halfway there. But if we start doing that type of campaign, we don't need big dollars. We need some money. We don't need all the money, right? And with a lot of organized people and a little bit of organized money, we can create the power we need to put forth a campaign that's about us, right? About our issues. Not just about SB 1070, but about education, about healthcare, about fighting for people, right? They're regular folks. May not have a certain position or title after our name, but we live here and we care. We feel the pain of what's taking place in Arizona. So I'm here to help represent that. I'm here to resonate that message across the state, and I will fight for you. And I'll get up every morning. Now we got a campaign. Now we're qualified. So we're going to be on that ballot. We're going to have we're going to take these petitions down to the Secretary of State's office tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We're going to turn them in. And then we're going to have another ballot bash down at St. Matthew's Church in Maricopa County to celebrate the work that you guys have done to really get us to this level. And so now it's about taking this back to the people you know. You know, when I look in this room, there's probably 40, 50 people, but I don't see that. I see the 20 to 30 people you're connected to. Your aunts, your uncles, your brothers and sisters. I see that in this room. And we just got to take them in. How many of you, for the first time, collected signatures? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. First time you've done this, right? Think about that. Something's moved you to do that. It's not just about me. It's about what's taking place in our state. It's about, no, we're going to do something. Because John McCain said, this new law is moving the state of Arizona in the right direction. How can you say that when people are holding all-night vigils religiously? How can you say that when people are marching in the street? How can you say that when on this Saturday there's going to be tens of thousands of people coming to draw attention to what's taking place in Arizona? The right direction for who? How can you move in this direction when 50%, I don't say this to scare people, this is, you know, sometimes we don't have facts in our discussion, 50% of public school students are Latino in the state. That's the future. It's a glorious, we should celebrate that future. Instead we ban ethnic studies. Ethnic studies was always, anyone knows that movement, ethnic studies was not a movement to overthrow, it was not a movement to be better than, it was a movement to get in, to affirm and recognize what we're about, to celebrate all our history, all our contributions. And now they're turning it to some dirty word? I mean, think about it. So what I just leave with you all today, 10 or 15 years from now, I have 2 daughters, when they look at this history, this chapter of Arizona, they're going to ask us, they're going to say, what were you doing during this time? What were you doing during this time? And so I applaud all of you for taking that first step, because being a citizen is not just a legal status, it's what you do. And today you are demonstrated what it means to be a citizen in the state of Arizona. So again, I thank you all for coming out. We're going to come back to you. You know, we're going to encourage people to hold house parties. Folks want to get to know me, we'll come down. We'll be in Tucson at least 1 to 2 days a week in terms of really coming to get to know different folks. You know, because people are saying, well, who's this guy? What's he about? What's he want to do? You know, he's got that union background, right? Oh, no, what about that? It's kind of from California, went to Berkeley. Oh, what does that mean, right? He took on sheriff for a pile, right? So I think because of my experience, because of what I bring to the table, because I'm not a professional politician, we can say and do things and take some risks that traditional people will not initially do. We think the time is right for that type of leadership, and we're going to stand by what we believe, and we're going to get out there and we're going to make this thing happen. So again, thank you all for being here, and I'm honored to be, because of the work you've done, to be your representative on the ballot come this election. Thank you.